Here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we have a moment of reflection. All right, first on our agenda is recognitions. The first is Jennifer Stewart, but I believe Julie Kane is here to give her absence, correct? Okay, all right, we'll move on. All right, the next is retirees, Ms. Watts.
Okay, we have a lot of retirees. I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work and all the success and everything that you've done for the district. So first up, we'll have Jennifer Michael. She's going to recognize her work.
Interventionist at the intermediate school for many years. She has done an incredible job with our kids and the growth that they have made in reading and math. She definitely has a soft touch with our kids and really gets to the problem that they are having to be successful. So we have been very, very lucky to have gone with us and all the love and support and dedication that she has poured into our kids over the years. Congratulations.
While she's coming down, I'll finish her.
Excuse the mic.
So Jen served the students in Newport for 27 years. She's been a staple in the Newport community, her family during this time. When I think about Jen, I think about the hundreds of students, the families, and I've told you this before, about the impact, not only the students and then their families and their kids, and it just kind of trickles down when I think about the impact that she's had on the Newport community. You just see that during dismissal and family events, they run up to her, they gravitate to her, and the amount of love that they have for Miss Mariani. So, and you just see that. The other thing is, you should see the high expectations that Miss Mariani has for her students. She treats them like her own children in a very good way. She expects them to succeed and has them own their own learning. And I can hear you now saying it's up to you to make the right choice. I hear you say that often in a positive way. And the students flourish under this accountability. And I think this is possible with a couple things. One, she has great relationships with families. She loves Newport. She loves the kids and her history with the schools. So congratulations to Ms. Mariani. We're very Mrs. Brown.
Well, I don't know where you start with these two guys. Down here. I will tell you something. This guy here is here early in the morning. He comes by. anything you need to be taken care of in this building, Herb can take care of it. His relationships that he has with students and staff, it's unbelievable. He's coaching baseball, and what he's doing with the kids that he has on that team, how he builds them up, but yet he holds them accountable. I've seen some of his conversations with him in the cafeteria. He doesn't mince any words. You want to play, this is what you will be doing. So he has a great impact from that point. I think Miss Geary has no more Yellow Brick Road on her door. I think Herb already had his plans of retirement, but I will tell you something. This gentleman will be missed by students, staff, and the community alike. And really, great, where you at? Yeah. This is the most colorful I've seen Greg since I've known him. Okay. Anyway, 33 years. Greg's seen about everything that you. When I was doing facilities and everything, Greg was my troubleshooter. If we had something going on, I'd say, Greg, I'll get it. And he never worried about it. He's just one of those guys who shows up. He takes vacation days or whatever. He's most likely sitting down there. So it didn't make any difference if he was supposed to be working or not. He's going to be really busy because all the things that he knows, all the skills and abilities that he has, you just don't find someone that can pick up and do everything that he can do and has the knowledge of all the buildings, new construction, whatever it is. So he's going to be truly missed, and wish you the very best.
All right, we are recognizing Miss Jane tonight. Miss Jane has served as our behavior intervention teacher as well as our physical education teacher the past few years. So Miss Jane definitely goes above and beyond for all of our students. This year, one of the big things that she brought to the intermediate school was skating. So the kids love to roller skate. They are learning to love roller skating. And some of them have some big bumps, big bruises, but they are loving it, and that is something that she got all the funding for herself, and it has really changed her classroom. She will definitely be missed, and kids love Miss Jane and love everything that she does for our kids every day. Thanks, Miss Jane.
Next, we have Laura Boer. So Laura's worked at Newport Primary School for 8 years for 26 and a half years. Taught first grade and second grade, like first, second grade split for a little while. And the last 9 years, we worked really closely together. She's been the instructional coach, the principal. Laura's great at her job. There's a few other things that I wanted to add. One, she is extremely dependable. If you ask Laura for something, there's no reason to check up. It is done. I think teachers know this as well. Next, she is trustworthy. If you need someone to talk to, call Laura. She is the one. She'll have a conversation with you. It's great. Number 3, she is positive. If you go negative, she steers you to the light. All right? Even when she's had a rough couple of years, she's always been very positive with me, and I appreciate that. That's very helpful. So, I'd like to congratulate Laura and also let you know we have left a mark. Thank you.
recognize Kelly Grace, 27 years of exemplary services. 11 of which Kelly is known for her professionalism, excellent customer service, strong work ethic, focus. At the heart of Kelly's work has been a clear and consistent commitment to support students in ways that enhance their quality of life, improve academic outcomes, and help them thrive at home, at work, and in the community. The guiding principle has not only defined her daily work, but has helped shape our special education department into one rooted in service, care, and excellence. I'm deeply grateful to Kelly Grace. Her commitment to serving our program has absolutely made it wonderful for everyone she encounters. The district extends its heartfelt thanks and best wishes as she begins her well-deserved retirement.
Tim Grayson. Come on up. I haven't known Tim Grayson as long as some of you here tonight, but over the past 6 years, I've had the privilege of working alongside him in a variety of his assigned roles. As the Director of School Safety, Director of Facilities, Director of Transportation, and as Newport High School Principal. Tim's journey into education didn't follow the traditional path. Before stepping into the classroom as a social studies teacher, he spent years working in the construction field. It was there he developed a deep respect for hard work, problem solving, teamwork, attention to detail, planning, resilience, and the value of every role in an organization. When he transitioned into education, he brought those foundational skills with him, and they served him well. In the classroom, Tim thrived. Students and parents alike quickly understood his expectations. The rules were clear. The bar was high. But so was his belief that every student could meet it, as long as they followed the rubric. He was firm but fair, and always consistent. As a principal, Tim carried the same approach into his leadership, still shaping young minds, but also guiding his colleagues with accountability and purpose. He never asked more of others than he was willing to give of himself. For over 30 years, Tim has dedicated himself to education. And through all of the roles he's held, one thing has never changed: his clarity of expectations. He speaks his mind with honesty and conviction, but he also listens, just make it true. That rare balance of firmness and openness is what sets him apart. Tim brings more than leadership to his work. He brings his roots. His Eastern Kentucky upbringing shaped him into the man he is today. Where he's from, values like faith, selflessness, grit are the foundation. Faith, not just the spiritual sense, but in the belief that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome. Selflessness, putting the needs of the community first, and grit, the drive to push forward no matter the obstacle. Education, service, and family are those that matter too. And for Tim, family has always been central. As Tim steps into retirement, he leaves behind a legacy of high standards, clear expectations, and a deep commitment to students, staff, and community. He has shaped schools, strengthened teams, and most importantly, made a difference in countless lives. Tim, your work here is done, and you've done it well. We wish you the very best in the next chapter. May it be full of rest, laughter, good health, and time with those you love the most. Congratulations.
Dennis Mays. It is both an honor and bittersweet to stand before you today as we celebrate the retirement, not just of Dennis Mays, but of all of our retirees today. Mr. Mays, you're a truly remarkable leader, mentor, work brother, father to Andrew and Matthew, husband of 26 years to Jennifer, and friend. Director of Buildings and Grounds, Transportation, Certified Evaluation Planning, Principal, Assistant Principal, Teacher, Superintendent, and the only person that I have ever met that actually enjoys cafeteria duty. Mr. Mays, I have called and checked, those bananas are still not right. From the city of Dayton, Dennis began his career at the age of 14 working in the custodial and maintenance department under Superintendent Jack Moreland. He was a cross-country runner, a member of the 87-88 Class A Boys Cross-Country Regional Champions, and he still gives it everything he does at a run. Dennis has innumerable sayings that most of us are familiar with. It's a mantra on those hardest of days. Go slow to go fast. Go where the kids are. Can we do better? For over 30 years, Dennis has dedicated his life to the noble calling of education. Through decades of chalkboards, lesson plans, report cards, and school assemblies, he's been a constant presence, steadfast. He's taught his peers to always be prepared for an emergency. He even made some of us move an entire school in one day. And let us not forget the daily email teachers that had every single event for every single day of the entire year that you were expected to read. Think for a moment about how many lives you've influenced. The students who found confidence because of a kind word, the ones who discovered a love for learning because you believed in them, because of your daily morning assemblies highlighting the growth of students. And never let us forget the daily attendance thermometer and the sound of big trains. The colleagues who rely on your mentorship in the educational community became stronger simply because of your belief in them. Retirement does not mark the end, it simply turns the page to a new chapter. A chapter of a newfound love for cruises, more metal detecting, more hunting, more woodworking, and well-earned freedom. While not here tonight, we do want to say thank you to Andrew, Matthew, and Jennifer Mays. Thank you for sharing, for all the nights and weekends, all the events that you had to attend, and all the ones that he had to miss. Dennis, thank you for your years of service, for your leadership, for the difference you have made. You have left a legacy that will continue to grow long after today. Congratulations and happy retirement.
To work with Lisa Rizzo for the past few years. She started in education 27 years ago, at Ryle for 2 years, and then made her home here in Newport for the past 25 years, which we are very blessed to have had. 13 years of this was served in physical education. After that 13 years, she moved over to St. Louis, the Life coordinator for 4 years. Also, she was part of the literacy grant, which helped our students with their reading, and the fitness and life coordinator for helping your fitness for education, making sure that you're eating properly, which then led to her being our business director for the past 8 years. She has done amazing things in the department. You ask many of our students, and so many new options. We've been able to cater for special dietary needs. She is very educated in that, and I've been blessed to be able to work with her for the past 4 years and able to learn from her. Congratulations to your retirement, and thank you for doing every bit of it.
Here. It's truly an honor to be up here. Yeah. Currently, she's the manager in the primary school, but she's been around for a while. 28 years. So when I started teaching PE, we shared space. Our cafeteria and the kids ate in the gym. So it was always fun to kind of work together. I'd see her peeking out every now and then, watching, what we're doing. The kids always loved her, so always have, always still do. But she but used to give me an apple crisp. I don't know, those of you that have been around for a while, that was a favorite dessert. She would always, whenever we had something that did, she would bring one out to me. She really, truly is one of the hardest working people that I know. She comes to work early every day. She never misses. She is so dependable. We've struggled a lot this year with staff being out. She will not let anybody come in. She wants to make sure that we know she's got it. She always has everything under control. She never wanted anybody to step in and help her. One other thing I wanted to mention over the years, and I almost ruined that friendship when I made the move to the primary. This is before we renovated that kitchen, and it was long overdue. But I think it worked out. Oh yeah, and during COVID, we worked while it was being renovated, and been several months longer than it was supposed to have gone. They worked in a trailer that so she's just, I can't say enough about what a hard working, dependable person you are, and how much you're going to be missed by staff who absolutely love her. People, whenever I moved her, they wanted to follow her and work under her. So she's going to be missed. Congratulations.
Tonight, we are also honoring one of our seniors. When I met Tajiana Crosby, otherwise known as Tata, it wasn't in the most conventional of ways. From the beginning, she was a fiery and strong-willed young lady. Tata had dreams and aspirations, but at times she struggled to see beyond the present moment. Often, the biggest challenges she faced came from within her. Beneath the frustration was a resilient young woman, someone with undeniable strength and the potential to do something truly special. This year has not been easy for her. Tata has faced many storms, but with the help of support systems and her own determination, she made it through. As you take your next step into the future, I remind you to be the unique individual you are meant to be. The future is yours to create. Take pride in yourself. Be bold, be brave, and true. And so, it is with great privilege and pride that I stand before you today to acknowledge that Tajiana Crosby has fulfilled the requirements set forth by the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the Newport Board of Education. She is ready to receive her high school diploma and take the next step into her future.
not possible. We want to thank the janitors, the teachers, the instructors, and everyone who's here. They work for years here. Thank you very much.
All right, with me today, Colin Murray is a second grade student from the student of the love, and my student is Colin's mom from the Jeff, they just talked about him being consistent, comes in, comes with a smile, he always says good morning, he does his best, he works hard. Simply put, Colin is dependable, and you can always count on him for doing the right things. Colin's parents, his grandparents are here. I'd also like to thank you for raising him, for being a great young man. So please congratulate Colin Murray.
Is Miss Haley Merritt. So Haley is a sixth grader at Newport Intermediate School. She is in class with Miss Moeller. She has come so far since she's come to NIS. She's pushed through many obstacles to become the student that she is today. We are proud of Haley and all her accomplishments, and she is the perfect representation of Roar. She also is speaking tomorrow night at our sixth grade promotion ceremony. So she's come very far, and we are super proud of Haley, and we are going to miss her next year. And our staff member of the month is Justin Dobbs. He could not be here tonight. He is one of our custodians at the intermediate school. If you follow the intermediate school on Facebook, check out the little video that our staff made about him. He really is an asset to the intermediate school. We are lucky to have him.
Tonight it's something a little bit different. Ms. Hurst, can you come down? I'll ask Ms. Hurst to come down so she can talk about our student of the month.
Paula, you want to come up here? Our student of the month is Paula Lewis. We are proud to recognize Paula Lewis as our student of the month. He is hardworking and determined student who approaches each and every day with a positive attitude and a genuine desire to learn. Always inquisitive, he goes above and beyond by asking thoughtful questions. He loves to ask questions and requesting extra work to deepen his understanding. Paula consistently gives his best effort and serves as a wonderful role model for all his peers. His dedication to growth and learning truly sets him apart. Congratulations, Paula.
One other thing I can say about Lyle, I always know when it's time to release the tank buses because he's the last guy. So I know when I'll put down the cafeteria, it's time for me to go ahead and tell the tank to go home. Now, I also, we sort of played a little bit on his first. He was asked tonight to come because we wanted to introduce her as a teacher of the month. Congratulations to Julia Hurst. Always stepping up whenever needed with a positive attitude and unwavering dedication. This month, she's gone above and beyond by organizing all the things tested, supporting CCR class, and even taking on altitude instruction grade. Julie is a hardworking, organized leader who consistently puts students first. We're grateful for all she does and proud to recognize her outstanding contributions at NHS as an instructional coach. And I hired Julie a long time ago when I was in Grant County. I think it was her first teaching position as a math teacher. She was just phenomenal.
Stacy, present the award to SLP.
Good evening. If you took part in STLP or Skills USA, please come down. That would be Newport High School, Newport Middle School, and also the intermediate school. Okay, real quick. Real quick, for those of you that do not know, STLP stands for Student Technology Leadership Program, and it is in the primary school, the intermediate school, and also middle school level and high school. Student Technology Leadership Program challenges the students to come up with a project that will use technology for a variety of reasons. It could be for something within the school, it could be something within the community, and our students do a wonderful job. We did very well at regions, all levels. We went on to Rump Arena in, I think it was in March this year, and they did a fantastic job. Is Stacy here? Oh, you're right here. I want her to talk about her group, but I'm going to talk briefly about my group. The two projects that we did a community project and a school-based project. The older SCLP team did a project researching the history of Newport. You saw the little videos on social media, the students did that. They did a fantastic job. And just to kind of tell you what kind of students we have, Kendall Hayden, raise your hand. Kendall goes to Northern full-time, she goes to YSA. She still came and did SGLP. She came after school, she came on her days off and worked. The other teams, they would just come walking in my room and say, can we work on our project? The energy and what they put forth is unbelievable. So that is our project. Dee Murphy was the intermediate coach, advisor. She is not able to be here tonight. So if you were in the intermediate program, raise your hand. Everybody that was in the intermediate program, there was several there. Their project was based on the need for food. Blake Yeshkirk told me tonight it's not necessarily homeless, because not just homeless people have a problem with finding food. So they help them with resources and different ways that they can get food. So that was a great project as well. So Stacey, you want to talk about your project?
Hello, I'm Stacey Reese. I'm the coach at the primary school. This is my 6th or 7th year coaching. This year, our second graders did a project called the Newport News, and it was on the morning announcements. Normally, I do a lot of the coaching for it. This year, they told me what they wanted to do, and we did. They usually so covering is huge, and panels will not judge. So judges will come and they will listen to your presentation, like 3 to 4 of them, and they'll stay for maybe 5 minutes. These second graders have to go like 10 to 15, and I just they compete against 5th graders. 4th and 5th graders, the youngest team. I would say the youngest team probably in the state. I don't think the other 2nd graders are doing it. I don't know. I don't believe that, but I'm pretty sure they're the youngest. They do a great job. Very proud of them. They scored the 81 out of 100. They have a 90 to go on to the next level, but they're very close, especially competing against the older kids.
Bush, Merkel said, 2 others involved in that as well. We took a problem that was in our schools, which was not using school technology wisely. And as the year started out, April Walsh, our technology coordinator in the school, said we're having all kinds of trouble with students just not being very smart on their technology. So the students took that on as a project and had tech tips and posters and on our TV monitors within the school to educate students on why to use just technology in general, but especially school technology. So our congratulations to all the SDLP students. I'm involved in another club, and it is Skills USA, and for those that do not know what Skills USA is all about, it is a career-based club. It is national, not just in the state of Kentucky, and you have to be in a career involved in career technology education to even compete. So we competed at regional level, which I'll let you talk about your students at regional. We went on to state and competed there as well in April. They keep moving on. They keep moving next year. But I did want to point out Alexis Long. Alexis, raise your hand, please. Alexis competed and there were a lot of students involved in that, and Alexis got first place for the whole state of Kentucky.
Yes, I'm Dustin Henson. I could teach carpentry here at Newport High School. You take your best carpentry students to a carpentry competition. Joey Mueller and Carlos Reynoso are those two. We competition did a great job. He did a state competition, did a great job. Carlos competed in carpentry one, and the project that they got was absolutely insane. 17 of the best carpenters, senior carpenters in the state of Kentucky, half of them gave up at lunch. Carlos worked to the last minute, 3 o'clock. He did Newport. Joey is my star junior student who will be competing carpentry one next year as well.
Our speaker, and she's moving on. I wanted to talk about a little bit about Olivia Lovelace. Olivia also competed in photography. She competed in something called photo art display. She's a sophomore. She did outstanding, and now she has 2 more years. And I'll be standing up here saying Olivia Lovelace placed first in the city. I'm predicting it. All right.
Good evening. I'm here to introduce the students who participated in unified sports. Volleyball, representatives on down, skiing, and track. Mr. Sutherland was one of our ski coaches, so come on up here. Participation in all of these sports builds confidence that carries over to the classroom. If you work toward a goal on a snowy slope, or a dusty track, or a bocce ball lane, you can achieve goals in math and reading. And we see it all the time. So our representatives for the bocce ball team tonight are Kaden Lynn, partner Aju Cook. They took 3rd place. Cameron Meredith, along with his partner Jalen Harkness. Damian Morales, along with his partner Myra. For skiing, our representatives are Zach Howard, who challenged himself this year to do the intermediate slopes and got a gold medal. were on the football team. Kelsey Turner, who had a great run in the preliminaries, but couldn't participate in the finals because she was also on the bowling tournament. Kelsey is on did skiing, bowling, and softball this year. So you can see where being part of these teams gives the students confidence to be on do other sports. Then our star in track. Cheryl Newchester is the coach for the unified track team this year. It is their first year. Caitlin, who placed first in shot put and discus in the regionals, tomorrow he will be at the University of Kentucky competing in the state track.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Atkins, and Haley and Miss Haley, and I'm also English pathologist at the primary school.
Better speech and curriculum to promote communication and communication in all forms, posted a coloring contest for all students.
So as we call your name, you can come up to join us here. So our preschool winner was Owen Edwards. Our kindergarten winner was Liam Gilby. Our first grade winner was Brian Larkin. Christopher Fernandez.
Next on the agenda is the comments section. And comments, we have yes. So we have about 7 people that have signed up for comments. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. So the first one is Randy Raleigh.
So, I think you all know the reasons the citizens are demanding a forensic audit from the state of Kentucky. And you should call them immediately and ask them to come and do an investigation into your budgeting and finances. You should have done that when you realized 1.9 million deficit last year. I most certainly think much more could have been cut from central office to have saved more teachers and counselors. Thank you.
Next is Jan Epshell.
Oh,
Yes.
see all the big people up there. You all can't be heard.
So when I'm talking to the mic, you still can't hear me?
I haven't heard it. That's what they're saying. I'm here tonight to express concern to many Newportians in reference to what's going on in our system. It was in the paper that Newport was cutting 26 people. Is that correct? No.
That's close, but typically with comments, this is not a Q&A, you get up and you give your comments. For details like that, we typically, it's in the report, we
We're
look,
gonna have to be answered.
well, let me see. I think the report, there's a personnel report attached. What we can have, this personnel report is public record. We can get you a copy so you can see it, but it's on my computer.
Well, sorry.
Correct. They were not, I don't think they were all teachers, but there were 12 retirees.
So staff, if I answer that question.
I don't think the board doesn't have the information available to us because we do not handle personnel, but we can ask the principals if they're still here, they will be able to tell you,
Well, what's open time?
please,
What's open time? For your
the comments.
next question, show them again. Only 6 people should be able to stand up to that and admit it.
That we nominate, They weren't all teachers.
retirees, there's 28 people out of a very small school district.
Correct.
And my question is, why? And I hear it's money. Yet I see on this tonight that we're hiring the same accounting service we had last year. I know that.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes. We're gonna hire the same people who got us into this financial hullabaloo. We're gonna hire them back. Now, I'm saying this, we got a stadium sitting down here that we built. We don't even have water going to it. We don't have concession stand, we don't have restrooms. We don't have, well, we dress, the kids dressed in a, trailer pot. What do you want to do? Now, I'm not gonna waste any more of your time tonight. I'm gonna tell you something, folks. We need to get it together, or we're not gonna have anybody in Newport that's interested in education. You take that many people, 28 people, off the staff size of the school district, you're cutting a part of your staff out. Part of them out. People have been dedicated to the school system for years. And how many administrators did you cut? Does anybody know that? I'll bet you didn't cut one.
Yes, we did.
How many? One?
Well, there was, we cut one, well, administrators, we don't have that many in the central office. We had 2 critical people, then we had a director of facilities, he retired. That position is not being replaced. We have a special ed director, and we have a director of people personnel, the DPP.
We got 2 administrators working in that entire building over there on the street.
We also have a school in that building. We also run other services out that building. So it's not just administrators, but there's the finance officers, staff is in that building, who does payroll and accounts payable, and they provide services to the district. So the people in that building provide services to the staff in all 3 schools.
I won't bother you if there's more questions, but nobody knows me. But, I had the honor of serving the people in Newport for a lot of years. And I tell you what, if I ever gone to a meeting, or this many questions were answered, and nobody knew the answers to, they run us out of town. Mr. Ross, I congratulate you on your career, when you're resigning. I wish you the best. Yes, but another thing we need to do is not bring all the people out here going to school free. I live in Newport, I'm don't from you man from the business in Cincinnati. Other business in Cincinnati don't know without paying. And I know we usually have a person that check there, these people where they're living. Hospital, we've gone out. Have anybody check that anymore?
Yes, we do. The director of people personnel, Tiffany Stewart. They do home visits, and they do verify the address and residency and paperwork.
So as a teacher for 40 years, my wife's teaching in Newport, 27. Son-in-law, been teaching for school, teacher, band director, 28. As educator and family, I feel sorry for the people being let go. somewhere.
Thank you. Next is Trish DeBarkey.
I just want to take this opportunity really to address the board. I'm going to first tell you something. I've had family in Newport schools since 1890. I've had grandfather, father both sit up here on the school board. I've had 2 uncles retired from Newport, football coach, administrator. I've had a dozen cousins retire from, or graduate from Newport High School. They are accountants, they are attorneys, they are teachers, they are successful people. I went to Newport, I decided I wanted to become a teacher in 2nd grade in Miss Whitford's classroom. If anybody remembers Miss Whitford stood off, she's passed on now, she retired from Newport. She's the one who put in my heart that I wanted to be an educator. I'm going to tell you, I've taught Newport kids who are going to change this world. I have taught Newport kids who I correspond with currently in prison. I've taught Newport kids who I took in as a foster parent with her infant child that she had. She was 15, running from the county, pregnant, knew she wouldn't end up being in the hospital. They were going to take it away. Called me up as her former 4th grade teacher to come help her. I took her and her daughter in as a foster child. And you know what? I don't think there's a Newport teacher that doesn't do the same. I don't think there's a Newport teacher that wouldn't do anything they can for these kids. To cut the teachers and instructional assistants, whether it be this year, whether it be last year, is irresponsible. If it does not impact our kids in the classroom, you all should not be voting for it. You all should not be taking the word of superintendent after superintendent who tells you what's going to make a difference. Changing reading programs every 2 years does not change whether this child can read. The teacher, the instructional assistant, they are the reason that child can read. And when you take dozens of them out of the classroom year after year and fill spots in central office with that doesn't impact our kids. Have I had a trip on a Newport dime? Sure, I went to Washington, D.C. I had a great week. I got picked up by a limousine service because of who I was traveling with, taken to a 5-star hotel. It was great. Did that impact my teaching? No. Did it impact my students? No. Do all these trips and things that Fiona posted about on Facebook that everybody gets so mad about? Does that responsibility impact our children? Because Fiona is not just a person. Fiona is a movement. And it's growing, and there's a lot more people in it that are afraid to stand up because they see what happens in Newport when you stand up. So, fiscal integrity of Newport administration, that's what Fiona is. That's what Fiona is about. It's not personal. It's not about criticizing. It's about putting our kids first because there's no wildcat that is not capable of succeeding. There is no wildcat that fails. There is a school board and superintendents that fail us. That's all I have to say.
We too believe in our students. We believe in All right, next is Andrea Janovic.
It's been 13 years since I was on the Board of Education. And over the
years, I have pestered and fostered and probably far more than she will ever admit with open records requests. I literally have done dozens of open records requests. And we can testify to that. There is a reason that after I was off the Board of Education, I stayed interested in public school economics. And that's because my motto has always been the devil's in the details. And unfortunately, it's my belief that the current and recent board membership over the last 13 years have not been paying attention to detail. If I can stand here today and tell you aspects of your finances that I bet none of the board members really know, but really you should know before I remember it to come, that's a problem. If I can stand here and tell you that you have a credit card that repeatedly has fraudulent charges on it, but is continued to be used by this district, even though supposedly it's been used fraudulently multiple times, that's a problem. Someone needs to be looking into that. If I can tell you that you're paying vendors that don't exist in the Kentucky Secretary of State Business Database, but they're presenting to you as a business and you're paying them with invoices under the name of the business, that's a problem. If your financial office is paying vendors that they haven't even verified are valid invoices, and you guys are losing thousands of dollars that way, and I'm a member of the public and I know that, if you don't, that's the problem. If I can stand here and tell you that I've identified at least one $5,000 check that was signed off on by another employee and not the person the check was made out to, that's a problem. I bet you don't know that. But I do. Because I've done open records and I've taken a look at various things. I've taken a look at expenditures. I look at credit card statements. And I would love to look at bank statements because I can almost guarantee you that you're going to find multiple transactions where money has been moved from one account to another to make the accounts look as though they're solvent, but they aren't. Do you look at your bank statements every month? Does the financial office give them to you? I doubt it. Do you look at the credit card statements every month and check the fraudulent transactions that are circled later by your financial director, or maybe even then, do you ask for those and look at them and say, why are we still using credit cards that we use fraudulently? And how did that happen that thousands of dollars are being charged at Home Depot that aren't supposed to be? You need to start asking the questions that are under your purview as an elected school board official. That is why you are sitting in those seats. It is a wonderful day. I've always loved these days when the students would come. And everyone would clap and we were so proud of our kids and what they were doing. And we've had so many successful graduates. My daughter is class of 2012, she's now a nurse, loves what she's doing. She, in my estimation, is a successful graduate of high school. These days, when we celebrate and give medals, are the wonderful days. But there are also days when we have to ask very difficult questions of the people who are responsible for advising us on our financial position. And whether or not a year prior we could have known that a year later we were not going to be able to fund again the level of teachers, instructional assistants, and administrators, and so forth, and not be caught apparently by surprise. Surprise should never be a word used by a school board in terms of finances. You have a responsibility to always maintain at least 2%, I believe it's still 2%, in your emergency escrow account, that's called the fallback account. You're always supposed to have that. There should be no surprises that suddenly you don't have enough money to pay for the positions that you have in your program. I think that a lot of attention by you guys, want to know how to up the game a little bit. Attention needs to be paid on the details. Work sessions need to be real work sessions. You need to be digging into the numbers. It is sad when the public knows that the former superintendent had a very expensive training paid for in California. I believe he was there for over 7 to 10 days. You know, my time's up this week, and it's just heartening to know for a fact, this is not speculation, but for a fact, that he used that paid vacation to get married on the beach, and the trip was his honeymoon. And it was paid for by Newport taxpayers. Thank you so much, and I really do appreciate everything you do. The younger ones here, the people on the block, who I don't know, you will find out that you need 4 or 5 years of financial cycles to know that is going on, and take advantage of all the training you can, because ultimately, you guys are the ones that love stops you. Thank you.
As you all expect, the time limit, there's so much more on our agenda.
Alright, so I have 2 things. First off, we celebrate all these kids and all these teachers for their hard work. But yet, we cut them out of the job, but we can't cut any job from the central office. Why? And then you're gonna turn around and hire people to replace them, and there is seasoned people in this room. If I take them personally, and I've been in many different school districts, the staff you have that you're letting go, you won't find them here. You won't replace them, you won't duplicate them, and damn sure will ever get the impact and you have an anticipation of kids. You want to have successful stories of kids moving on and doing successful things in Newport, you're going to cut all these good teachers, all these good staff, you're going to remove 10% of the office. My second thing is I find it very, very odd as to we don't have money for the stadium that doesn't have water, doesn't have a bathroom, doesn't have, they tell them how maintenance, etc. But yet, we have money to pay for tanks, but now we don't have money to pay for tanks, so now our kids get to walk to school. Now, I think something needs to be done internally or externally to review all this, because one day we don't have a dime to our name, and the next day we got all kinds of money, but we're letting people who put their heart, their blood, sweat, and tears into this district, this community, in this city, and we tell them, hey,
To us, to school board members, all the educators here this evening, Tom Bowles, President Williams, and others back here. What I mean by that is really to stay in the school district as a OSP has for years in terms of having to work this out any way we possibly can. We didn't get OSP having a part in the schools. And I'm very nice to be able to say, very nice to be able to hearing one another. And also, also interested in the services that we need wider community. And it's always in our principal program, the education, the undergraduate education program. It's young personal minds. We always talk about school discipline hardly. We have to be careful as educators in terms of the media. They see us at this time. Those educators in those classrooms watch the same thing that we're watching. And very mindful, especially sending those in the come back and do things that they said we can some time to do in the future. We might turn their energy and those potential educators away. What we communicate our dissatisfaction with things. We have to be very mindful in this day and age that technology has our image and our language and our perceptions out there and speaking people watching. So let's work this situation out. I'm not going to talk about the finances, but I'll know about that. But I do know this what Christ watch this what Christ watch things up. And he brought me in because he was qualified to do the job. This watch brought in a talented individuals who are qualified to do their positions in the school district. And so when you have challenges like this, you build on the energy of those retirees. You build on the energy of those students who came up here. And we find a way to let them go through these things. So I want to say that we at NWSB, we understand that everybody's hurt. But there's a way to get through this pain. So we don't have to continue to have the pain suffer. Because we know here what schools are wild heads. And all these folks here in this room will educate better. Knowledge, talent, education, the inspiration, dedication to overcome this as well. So we're here to maintain our commitment to what schools, whatever next chapter is going to be, we want to remain committed to all the educators and our students. Understand we have to say one more thing about diversity in school too. What school is so that I'm a person and racial person. We're very mindful of being able to speak to that person. Be the individual diverse numbers in the school district and make sure you have a representative population of faculty, staff, and the students. Here as well. Because we lose a significant number of people from diverse backgrounds, we don't feel personalities. It's personalities being those that we are lower in terms of the cities. But this personality will make they can be in private cities versus a lot of time. So keep that diversity in together, as well as the energy that we can all come together and work. Spirit of this is made. Thank you.
Last but not least, Esther Batsky.
So I've been before you all several times. But I do want to thank you all tonight for the effort you have put in to the changes that have been made. We're just beginning. A lot more changes, a lot more hard work to be done. A lot that we can all do together. One of the challenges I would like to give you all is on the superintendent selection committee. I think we need community members, parents, students, maybe happy. We'll think about and teachers. I think we need a variety. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of things that will be tough over the next year, 2 years. And there are very few of us left to do this fight. But the ones of us that are left, we're going to fight for Newport. Once you're Wildcat, you're always going to be Wildcat. Step a little bit outside. One young, one Newport. Because I know he's becoming Wildcat for the second time. So, Steve says to show he was Wildcat and he came back. So, thank you, and let's get to smart work.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the minutes from our April 23rd meeting, our May 7th meeting, our May 14th, May 15th, and May 21st meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Any questions or comments or corrections? Please use your mic so that they can hear your voice, please.
No questions.
Right. There's no questions, comments, or corrections. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
It's been moved in second, all in favor? Aye. Next on our agenda is the treasurer's report.
Good evening. The board has received my reports, and I will also be discussing during the new business tentative budget. However, besides any questions that I was able to answer previously, do you have any additional questions before you approve the bank reconciliation for the paid invoices?
Does anyone have any additional questions for Ms. Snap? Are you ready for the vote? All right, I need a motion to approve the bank reconciliation statement and file for audit.
So moved.
It's been moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the invoices for the month of April. Does everyone have an opportunity to look at those invoices?
Yes.
Any questions or comments regarding the invoices that were presented?
No.
Need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
It's been moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
The other items here, the administrative expense report. Our statement, any questions regarding that?
No.
Any questions regarding the additional balance sheet statement and the monthly financial report?
this is the last board meeting, or even the meeting before that, curriculum resources were discussed, instructional materials, not renewing or renewing materials, and was discussed that we would bring it up again in a future meeting. And I mentioned Mr. Watts and this team that I would like to come up and discuss this with the board. And also invited Ms. Slinker, one of our instructional coaches, to come up and speak as well. I would consider her, she would not say this, but I would consider her an expert in curriculum. She is very knowledgeable at the primary school, especially in reading and math foundation skills. So, to begin, it is a state mandate for grades K through 3 to adopt a high-quality instructional resource for reading, writing, and math. And we also must have a diagnostic test. And for us, over the past few years, that's been iReady. So we have been using Wonders for reading and writing. We've been using Math in Focus for math. Those have been our instructional materials, our curriculum materials, and we've been using iReady for our diagnostic. So I want to talk a little bit about what does instruction look like using those resources. So one, it's evidence-based, right? So we're not pulling things off of the internet. These things are evidence-based curriculum materials. Right? Teachers are planning collaboratively, they're working during PLCs. The materials are consistent across the grade level of the school. And so what I mean by that is when you go across first grade in 5 different classrooms, they're not reading 5 different stories at 5 different levels. We're using consistent materials. Now, teachers have ability to differentiate, scaffold, adapt as they need, but we're using high-quality instructional materials. Classrooms are using consistent assessments from the programs or curriculums. They're reliable. Teachers are analyzing these. If something needs to be supplemented, so when we look at these assessments, if something needs to be revised, I think it was right. If the assessments need to be revised, they have the flexibility to discuss that during PLCs. They can revise those assessments. They analyze the data. Again, this is all coming from the curriculum, but teachers also have the autonomy during PLCs with the instructional coaches and principals to revise those things. But these resources are really valuable to our school. Talking about iReady, so we take the diagnostic 3 times a year, then it puts the students on their pathway. So they have their iPads, it puts them on their pathway, and they're working through their lessons. This is really important for us, because as the kids that are in the classroom are working on the pathway, the teachers are pulling groups of kids, working on small groups, providing intervention. So again, iReady is really important for us. Next, I want to talk a little bit about what would it look like if we did not have those materials or if we went away from those. So if we started a new curriculum, we really would be starting back from square one. New assessments, new materials, new professional development. Looking at the research of this, starting with the new curriculum to get back to full implementation typically takes 2 to 4 years. If we retrain, you have to learn these materials, you have to learn the assessments, you have to learn how to implement these things. So you're kind of starting back from the beginning. We're also sitting right now where even scheduling that PD for August would probably be pretty difficult. Typically, when you schedule those PDs, you're looking at March or even February, you're scheduling that professional development with those learning runners, Math in Focus, whatever provider you go with. So the only other thing I would add to that is that looking at this point of the year in terms of changing something, if you're looking at changing curriculum, just consider the factor of like change fatigue. You know, you're adding something new without going through the planning process. So if you are thinking about changing curriculum, normally you want to consider piloting that, you get teacher input, and just kind of go through a process before you do change some kind of reading or math curriculum. And you don't want to change kind of quickly, just kind of roll that out quickly. We want to pilot that in December, January, February, March, and then kind of roll that out for the next year, which is actually what we did for UFly, and it worked out pretty successfully for us. So I'm not going to go through we've all shared some information on data with everyone already, but I just want to take a moment to thank you, share our thoughts in terms of how we're using the curriculum resources, and if we're going away from the curriculum resources. I know that's a very important decision, financial decision, but I know it's a very important financial decision for the board, but it does have a tremendous impact on the primary school, especially K through 2, I imagine 3rd grade school. Is there anything you want to add to that?
I don't have anything to add, but I am here to get questions about specifics, data, or cost or implementation.
Any questions?
We appreciate the hard work. Being to present the information.
Thank you. I see myself though, yeah.
But thank you, Mr. Yes.
Next up, we have the curriculum department.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members. You have my report. Do you have any questions?
All been doing a lot of testing.
We actually just completed today.
Yes.
Congratulations to teachers and students.
Yes, congratulations. I know that's a very intense time when you talk to teachers during that testing period. It is a very intense time. And for them and the students. So when will the results, I think they'll be out in October?
October. Awesome. That's what we can do.
That we might be an indicator to how our students are doing.
They are an indicator. In the past, we've compared them to the outcomes that we've gotten from our KSA scores compared to our already scores. And I think that's what Mr. Atkins was alluding to. When he said that our rating is very important to the school.
Question for the curriculum department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a DPP.
Madam Chair and members of the board, do you have a copy of the May report? Do you have any questions?
Any questions for the school board on the report?
No.
Thank you.
Next, we have facility and transportation. Madam Chair, members of the board, do you have a copy of my report? Do you have any questions?
As we eliminate table service, how will that impact?
Well, one statement you heard earlier was false completely. We are providing yellow bus service for our 7 through 12 students. So students are not going to be walking as it was portrayed earlier. So what we're going to be doing is shifting the start time of our schools. That has been communicated to the principals, and we're going to do a double run of the yellow buses throughout town. So there will be a first run for our elementary students, and then right after that, second run will be through town using the current tank stops. And those students that normally rode tank will be getting on a yellow bus instead of a tank bus. So students are still going to get transportation.
Thank you. There are quite a few plans. It's the school trauma plan. Any questions regarding that?
No.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next up, Mr. Ed.
Members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Watts, you have my report. Do you have any questions?
Good to see all the activities that our special ed students are involved in. Appreciate, it seems like you are adding something each year to your activity schedule, which is good.
I'm grateful to the staff. They are very supportive and
Yeah.
always look for ways to encourage inclusion.
No, ma'am. All right, thank you for the report. A lot of good information here about what you and your staff are doing to help our children remove barriers to education. So we appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Ms. Michael, talking about Big Brothers Big Sisters Pilot Mentoring Program.
Good evening. So I was asked to provide an update on our site-based coach program through Big Brothers Big Sisters. So we have Al in our building who's there full-time with us. He does still spend some of his time at Big Brother Big Sister just for their meetings and things like that. So he's in and out of our building on some occasions. His program is called Game Changers. And it's called Game Changers because every day is a game day decision. So he wants to make winning plays with the kids every day. He currently has 11 students on his caseload, so this really started back in March was when he really came on with us full time, and this is fully funded by Big Brother Big Sister. He meets with them in huddles, so he calls each grade level a huddle, so he meets with those grade level groups once a week, and then he meets with the kids individually as well once a week. So He has some kids that have really stood out to be leaders within the huddle. So he has one sixth grade student that he has bragged on, that he met his first day there that was really struggling and happened to be in my office at that moment that Al showed up. And was a student that he brought in, is actually has not stepped foot back in my office since that day. So Al's having a tremendous impact on our students. The hope is that he said, having a full year with these kids, he thinks he can make a large impact on them. The kids know that they can go to him. He spends a lot of time in our cafeteria during lunchtime, kind of communicating with kids, checking in on his kids, and building those relationships with kids that might not actually be in his program yet. The paperwork for Big Brother, Big Sister is rather lengthy. If anyone has been through that process, it is a lot of paperwork. So we try to get as much to the parents in a good amount of time so they can get it back. But we're trying to build the program. But right now, the paperwork is really the struggle getting the paperwork filled out back because it is a lot of information for families to get out. But the program is being successful right now.
Good. So it was a problem this year. Okay, so whether or not they're gonna come back next year.
They do have to come back next year.
And can you give a little background, because there's probably some people here that are not familiar with it.
So Big Brothers and Big Sisters came to me this year. We've had a couple of different programs that we've piloted with Big Brother, Big Sister. We have our school-based mentoring program where they come in and they eat lunch with our kids and have that mentoring for 45 minutes once a week. We piloted a program just like the high school where my sixth graders went out and did a site-based mentoring program as well. And they went down close to the levee with the company, and we realized that my age group was not the best age group to be doing that with at that time. So that program has moved to the high school permanently, and it's still continuing there. And then they wanted to have more of an impact on an everyday basis of what's going on in that school, and have a touch point there every day. And that's what Al serves for our kids. So he's there as an outside mentor that can they can check in with. They can eat lunch with somebody that's there all the time, especially if they're having maybe just a bad moment. Not a bad day, just a bad moment that they need somebody to talk to. So that's really how this came about, that he wanted to be full-time in our building so he could be there every day for our kids.
No.
Thank you all.
Thank you. That concludes our student learning and support services on the agenda. Next is old business, we don't have anything listed. Next is new business, where we have quite a few items on the agenda. So, let's see, any questions regarding the personnel report?
No.
Any questions regarding the tentative budget?
So I just have a few quick questions. So did we look at all the cuts that could be made to the budget? So like unnecessary travel, supplies for social services, or any of the school supplies? Did we take any of that into account when we created the budget?
So we looked at every expense, revenue that we have coming in. I say we, I mean, it was an effort between our staff, entire staff, not just the finance office, but every department. And they went through their budgets with a fine tooth comb, and cut a lot out, so to speak. We also, for supplies, I know that you asked earlier about that. We did change the way that we allocate funds to each building for SBDM, and that's going to cut a little bit out of their supplies budget as well. I mean, we spent months looking through all the expenses and really cutting where we had to. I know that we cut travel, just about anything that's not necessary would be good.
Okay, thank you for all of your efforts. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you. Any more questions regarding the tentative budget? And for the record, the board has been in budget meetings, probably for the last 3 months. Probably 2 or 3 times a month, we've been meeting with the finance officer. Many of you know that. We've also hired a finance consultant, so we've been going through the records and working with our finance team, not going to look at where we are, but where do we go from here? So we've got a lot, we've been talking a lot, we're looking to make changes, on how we do business, and so that's been part of the conversation. Next is the 25-26 salary schedules. First one on the list is certified. All the certified salary schedule for the staff, entire district staff.
No.
Any questions regarding the proposed classified salary schedule?
No.
Any questions regarding the proposed administrative supplements service salary schedule? Yes. It's for the upcoming year. Athletic salary schedule. Which is typically the stipends that are paid to teachers and coaches. For all our athletic programs. Any questions?
No.
And also the district-wide extra service salaries. These are typically says the extra duties of a lot of the teachers, PLC, academic coaches, instructional coaches, the other duties in addition to their teaching duties. Any questions?
No.
Next on the agenda, we have a list of the certified staff, classified staff. Any questions regarding those two documents?
No.
Everyone have an opportunity to review them?
Yes.
And then next is the surplus items from Newport Primary School. Mr. Mays, can you come up here and give us a little background on this?
I'm actually not aware of what items are on there.
submitted this?
I didn't,
I'm sorry. Okay, Matt Atkins, you submitted this surplus.
Yeah, so these are the direct construction, surplus and materials direct construction. These are paving materials that were used many years ago. Back when we received support from KDE, we started transitioning to wonders that are looking at their 85 feet for about 4 years. And it's been sitting in the room and really don't see that they're
Okay, so once the board surplus, if we take action and agree with your recommendation, then what happens to the material?
from there. Mr. Mays, what would we do from there? Like, either
well, they can be donated to other schools, they can be, put on, our website so that people can put a bid on them. But typically, once we do a process like that, and if we don't have any takers, then we can dispose of them. But obviously, we want to try to give materials, to another school if they want to have them.
we transition from not using those materials to the
Okay. What's your pleasure? Do we approve them? Any recommendations that post them on the website to see if we get bids, or do we? We can always table this if you all have more questions, you wanna review it more. Protocol. First, the bid is what we, okay, that's what I want to clarify. All right. Okay, next is the eliminate salary schedule for technology coordinators and include all coordinators in the district technology coordinator salary. So this is due to the elimination of the positions from the previous meeting. Correct, Mr. Watts?
Yes, we want to put them all on the same pay scale.
Any questions? I believe we've already covered this in our budget meetings. We always have to make sure there's not any questions. The stipend for the athletic director. And then the certified evaluation plan, there were some changes made. There was a change order for the Newport High School Stadium. Any questions for Mr. Mays regarding that change order?
No, but I had a question about the athletic director's duties.
Okay.
Is that covered in the athletic salary schedule? Or is that in addition to the athletic
Because
salary?
I believe he's a teacher,
Okay,
so he will, in addition to teaching, he will be athletic duties. His duties will be for all of the students.
okay.
Because we eliminated the athletic position.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was like, if it was already being, if there was already a stipend through the athletic director or athletic, salary schedule, or if this was something separate.
Yes, something separate. Because the salary schedule for the people that actually work in the different schools. coaches. Multiple sports, and soccer, baseball, sports, coaches. And he'll be all wet and spots.
Yes, that's just to, keep his salary where it was. He's not, district-wide anymore as far as on the salary schedule, so he's a teacher. And give him that additional stipend, keep his salary where it was last year.
It's, you won't have any athletic director duties.
Yes, that's in addition, that's what I'm saying. So that gives him additional duties as athletic director.
Okay. All right. Is there a change in the change order for the stadium? Which is good news. There was a savings on this change order. And there was a comment made about money for the stadium. There is a separate fund for, the stadium that does not come out of the general fund. There's a capital outlay fund where the state gives us money for building and facilities. So that's a separate fund and it's restricted only to facilities. So there is money, a lot for the phase 2 of the stadium, and that work is going on as we speak. And it's, I believe it's concession stand and the restrooms, but right, Mr. Mays?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And then also, in regards to the bus services, since we are no longer using tank, the drivers that will be making the extra runs, they will be, given additional time, correct?
Yes,
To
ma'am.
compensate them for the extra runs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
To make sure that our students get to school, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. And number 12, we will not be, I don't believe we have that document yet, Mr. Watts. The memorandum of agreement that's on the agenda,
No, that's taken off.
it's taken off. All right, so we have consent agenda items 1 through 11. Okay, we have, we ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Covington? Yes. So I need a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 11.
So moved.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next is board comments. Ms. Stedman, you want to talk about this?
So I appreciate everybody that came out here tonight. I know the crowd was a lot bigger than started. You know, we do support our teachers. I know that it doesn't look like that right now. Unfortunately, we had to make some cutbacks because of finances. But it's not that we took for granted any of the teachers that we had. We lost some really great and talented people. But we still have so many really talented people. And it's with working with them that we're going to continue to make this a great district. So I just want you to always support our teachers, cheer for them, stand up for them, acknowledge them because they are amazing. And that's really all I'm going to say.
Well, I too want to thank everybody for coming, and we hear you. You may not always think we're listening, but we are. I know there's concern about the Price Hospital Clinic. We tabled it for a reason. We didn't feel we had enough information to make the right decision. So the board is doing additional research, having additional conversations, so this matter is not closed, as many other matters are not closed that has been brought to our attention. The board is charged, as Ms. Jennifer says, to do what is best for this district, and this is something that we signed up for to do it right. Did we make mistakes? Yes. Do we own them? Yes. But we can't stay focused on our mistake. It's how you recover that matters, because we're human and we all make mistakes. But your recovery is what defines you and determines. And we're determined to get back on track, do things different, be more in tune to each other, with our finance, with our leaders, so that we can continue to know what's going on in this district. And we appreciate Fiona. So come to the meetings, talk to us. Let's hear what you know. That helps us do the digging, ask the right questions. That's the same thing we do with our teachers, with our leaders. We talk to them regularly because I want to know what's going on in the district. So does my counterparts. We talk to our finance director, our board secretary. We are constantly, this is not the only setting that we're working. There's a whole lot of behind the scenes work that needs to be done as board member, as Ms. Janet stated. And we're committed to doing it, and we're committed to moving forward with what we have. And so, because this is about our students, we owe them. They're entitled to a great education. And we have a lot of people in this district that are committed to doing just that. They come here because they believe education is the game changer. It is an equalizer. These kids' future depends on the kind of education they get here in Newport, and we are determined and committed to make sure we do everything we can to make that happen. So we ask that you continue to support us, encourage us, and help us, because this is a community effort. These students that come here are residents of Newport. They're just not school kids. They live in the city of Newport. So we all have a duty and responsibility to these children. When you see them in the neighborhood and they're not doing the right thing, take the time to talk to them. Because a lot of times they get in trouble in the community, which creates a barrier to education. So we charge you all to join us in this fight. Thank you.
Well said.
Any more comments? And I do want to say that it has been brought to our attention to consider doing a forensic audit on our finances. So that's something that is conversation with the board. So it's not something we eliminated, but it is a conversation we're having. And if we feel like there's a need to do that, we'll discuss, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any more comments? If not,
No.
and Ms. Abby, keep in touch. Continue to be great and represent Newport, because as you all said, a lot of great students have come out of Newport doing great things, and we're proud of that. So thank you. Nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.